Last night, I took my oldest son to a midnight purchase of the World of Warcraft expansion pack at a local uh, game boutique, I guess it is. But what was neat? First off, we got there. There was a bunch of other people there. It was an entertaining time. Him and his new friends went on over, got something to drink while they were waiting for everything to come to to midnight because we were there ahead of time. And when they came back by me, I was sitting in the car. They come back by me. I see 6 of them go by, and I look at them. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think to myself, there goes a gaggle of geeks. So I might be the first person to have sighted a gaggle of geeks this season. You don't usually find them out at midnight. But I spotted them. Well, anyway, I got to thinking about the first multiplayer game that I played. Because he enjoys World of Warcraft. A bunch of people plays in there. Gets on TeamSpeak. They can talk back and forth. It's a fun time. The first multiplayer game I played, though, was in the Navy. In 1979, I was assigned to an aircraft carrier in Florida. And on the aircraft carrier, they had those radar consoles. All right, and these radar consoles, they were operating system consoles. They were, not only did they have the display, but on either side of the display, they had banks of switches and banks of switches on the other side and a trackball. So the people, when they developed this proprietary system, and these computers were built around the end of the 60s, okay, 69, 68, in that area. They also wrote the software, and this was extremely sophisticated software because it allowed you to play with a different person on every one of those consoles. And there was about 25 consoles on the ship, so you can have 25 different people playing that game. And the banks of switches on the right-hand side were like 3-position switches. And they had long-range sensors, short-range sensors, photon torpedoes. You had robot ships out there like the Cylons that would attack you on their own. Everybody picked a different symbol for their ship. You had a trackball, so when you got in close, you could aim, you can fire, you can pick sectors of where you know to look at your long range and short range sensors. And I never did learn all the things in that game, but when you pulled into port, you dropped anchor. You already had the system goes down. All right. We're not putting around the ocean. We're at anchor. So the radar systems, everything go, we bring them down. We might leave navigation radar up just to look for crazies that are coming towards us, but everything else is down. So what do we have? We have a system with a game, and the game's designed to test the thing. So hey, let's put the game up there. So if you didn't have Liberty, and when you pulled into port, you had Liberty 2 out of 3 days, which means I could go ashore for 2 days, had to be back for 1. And if we were in port for 3 days, and that's, I was on ship for 1 day. I could stay on ship all 3 days if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. If we were in port for 6 days, like we did in Palma de Mallorca a couple times, got to go into Palma a couple times. And on the day that you had duty, you might be shore patrol, so you got to go in there and still have a good time on shore. But when you were stuck on a ship, you had this game. And even when people came back drunk at the end of the night, they would go in there and get on this game. And it was an amazing game because it was all real time, live action. There wasn't any game like this out there on the market or that I saw in any universities at that time. Okay, yeah, you had your Atari, you had your Commodore PET that was out in '79. The Commodore 64, I guess, was starting to get ready to come out. All right, this was '79, and this game, it was a decade old, but it was awesome. The only problem was when they finally upgraded the computers and brought them into the modern age, because all those computers had these little boards, on each one of these little boards were some transistors, resistors, a couple of capacitors, and they made up a logic gate. Now those logic gates in one processor right now, it's unfathomable. You could fit all those computers in probably a TRS-80, but That's what was running the, the, the government, the ships at the time. When they upgraded, they didn't upgrade the game. They just brought in boring diagnostics. Nothing fun. They had no sense of adventure. So we lost the game when they upgraded the systems in '82 and brought everything into the modern age. But it was great fun for that first cruise I was on in 1979 and '80. Awesome. Enjoyed the hell out of it. Now we got the graphics at the yang coming down the stream, and people were having a good time. Back then, the graphics weren't anything, but the gameplay was just as awesome. I know it's hard to believe y'all didn't get a chance to experience this the way I did, but it was a real-time game, and you could have 23, 24, 25. I'm not sure how many consoles we had on there. Spread out the ship. The person could be up on a bridge. There's a couple consoles up there. Console in crypto. Few consoles in anti-submarine warfare. You know, they were all over the O3 level of the ship. It was fun. Just thought I'd share that with you.